everyone, this is Daniel. This is my Gecko video update blog for July 29, 2009. I've got a couple of updates today. The first, yes, I did make optimized CMonkey 2.0 pre-beta 2 builds yesterday. However, due to security patches for Visual Studio, the Visual C++ redistributables, and other various Visual Studio related items, I created new optimized CMonkey 2.0 pre-beta 2 builds today. I actually made two variations of the build for today. This is the change sets that I used for today's builds. Now, some of you may be wondering, why did I release two builds today of the same change set? Well, one is the normal build that I normally build for everybody. The other one is an experimental build that includes another build switch, which is called Enable Mobile Optimize. Now, given that I don't see a whole lot description-wise about what it does, I'm going to say it has to do with rendering graphics on mobile devices, even though the optimization does not seem to be limited to mobile devices. So I added that option into the experimental build. Now, of course, as you notice, there are two folders that were added, Experimental 191 and Experimental 192. The experimental build, of course, that I made for today, that uses the same change set as today's CMonkey 2.0 pre-beta 2 build, is obviously going to be in the Experimental 191 folder. And I also went ahead, just so I would get it out of the way, I moved every CMonkey 2.0 base build that was not from this month on into the archives folder. That way, only builds from this month will show up. Now, at the beginning of next month, I'm going to wait until probably about August 15th or so before I move all of the builds from July into the archive folder. Basically what I'm doing is I'm moving older files to the archive folder so that everybody can see the newer files without having to go through page after page after page looking for the newer version of my builds. Of course, since there have not been many Gecko 192 based builds or CMonkey 2.1 pre-alpha 1 builds, I haven't had to do anything with that. So, yeah, I had intended on getting an optimized CMonkey 2.1 pre-alpha 1 build out, but things are just so horribly bad right now. And now, of course, it's affecting everything now. Gecko 191, Gecko 192, and even my personal builds that I build from TraceMonkey. Yes, I do even create TraceMonkey builds, but they're personal builds only, because obviously while most of the stuff does indeed end up going into Gecko 192, I won't release a build based from my TraceMonkey builds. But anyway, with that being said, all my builds that I thought I had released in the past that I said were static, I will have to admit I was kind of wrong, because I went back and looked at my builds and noticed that they were not static builds. Only my personal builds were static builds. The release builds were what they call dynamic or shared library builds. So basically what I'm saying is that basically my personal builds were the only ones that were really screwed up. I could release dynamic or shared library builds without a problem. I just was trying to get static builds out because they seem to be slightly faster than the dynamic builds or the shared library build types were. But of course today's build is proving me otherwise in some aspects. Of course my personal build today used the experimental enable mobile optimized, and the only difference I personally seen is that some images load faster, some images don't. I guess it just depends on what image it's loading, but it's a perception thing, I think, to the user whether or not it's actually faster or not. So basically both builds are stable. The experimental and the regular build, they're both stable. They use the same exact code, only one switch is different. And so you can try either one of them out, because if one is going to crash, the other one is going to do the same thing. So if there's a problem in one, it's going to be in the other. That's basically how that goes. But as my sister Cindy and my nieces Cynthia Ray and Julie are on their way here, as of right now, matter of fact, they are about halfway here. This will likely be my last Gecko video blog for a little bit. I want to maybe try to get a video blog, quick even maybe, to introduce them to you if I get a chance, when there is no thunderstorms around the area. I just wanted to get this update out because obviously I wanted to get a video update out yesterday, but due to the patches I felt like it would be better if I waited until today and explained why I did what I did by making a build yesterday and then again today and all that. So but yeah, with all that being said, I am Daniel Jeter, and I will see you next time.